right, so let's see, Athena Somerville, you're somewhere. Why don't you come on up and have a seat? And then Mr. Trinan, Elias Trinan, come on up and have a seat over here. Okay, maybe that's why we should have moved that chair. Sorry. So can you help me out of the way? We're going to get that chair out of the way for you. And then make sure that the microphone is closer. Thanks, Kayla. Okay, so let me first get everyone under oath, so settled. So Ms. Somerville, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. And Elias Trinan, raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So I see that you were given notice of this. You got the petition, which says everything that Ms. Somerville is saying. Notice of the hearing, you got that on the 5th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So are you ready to go forward today to defend against this request to have an order against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Somerville, are you prepared to go forward today to show the court why you think the court should issue this order?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So how this works is I'll first hear from Ms. Somerville if there's anything more. And once I hear from her, I'll turn to Elias Trinan and I'll hear from you about why I shouldn't presumably issue this order because, well, that's a good question. Do you object to this order issuing?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will hear that. And then I'll make a decision based on the law under RCW. God, they changed the law. And I have to weigh what's admissible, what's relevant. And I have to look at the law and see, does the law allow me to do such a thing if all the elements are proved to a legal standard? So, and you'll notice I'm looking at screens here. I've got my court file and all the documents that were filed here electronically. So I am listening, but I'm also looking at what's been filed. So that actually brings me to another question. So, Elias Trinan, is there other documents that you're going to want the court to look at that aren't filed with the court?
Okay.
Okay, good. Somerville, anything that your documents you're going to want the court to look at that aren't already with the court?
Nope, they've been submitted.
Okay, good. All right. Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
My pronouns are they, them, so she, her.
Thank you. Okay, I'll work on that. And I may just use first names.
Your Honor.
1 second. Let me kind of look at what I'm looking at and then we'll get there. I'm just re-familiarizing myself with your petition because there's a lot I reviewed today. All right, some notes, but I always like to re-look. Okay, that's right. All right, and also, Ms. Somerville, is there, you had someone file under penalty of Nicole Ambleton?
Yeah,
can't read the
she's
hand.
present. I also have
All right.
another witness as well that is willing to testify on my behalf.
Well, it's up to you to build your case, not for me to decide who I hear from.
Mm-hmm.
So I've already heard from, is it Ambleton? Hamilton, okay. In under penalty, and I can consider that was part of your petition. So we'll see where we go from there. All right, so I've had an opportunity before today and today to kind of re-review all that your request here, and you're asking for this order against your parent here, and you're 21?
Yes.
Okay, and you've lived apart how long?
I moved out when I was 18.
Okay, so good 3 years almost. All right. And this kind of came up because of that note that you filed with your information here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Handwritten note. That's why you're here.
That and
what started it.
Yes, that is what started
Otherwise, you wouldn't have come to court.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Tell me why you believe this is unlawful harassment.
About in 2022, I did request that the respondent not contact me because of things that I went through with them in my childhood that I did also document on here as well. When I initially asked for that, they seemed understanding and they made it seem like they would listen. So I didn't feel it necessary to take legal action at that time.
How did you tell your parent not to contact you?
I made a phone call and I have exactly what I said to them during said phone call written down here as well. Let me find it real quick.
So when in 2022 was that?
I have the date written down. Give me
In your
just a moment.
petition?
Yes, it is.
What page?
I'm not quite sure yet. Sorry.
Okay, tell me when you find it. I can read it, but I just need to know where. It's
Yeah, of course.
2022. I have 2022 beginning page, well, it's 101. You say page 11 to 13. And
Okay. It's on. So it was 2023. My mistake. I apologize.
so what page?
It's on starts on page 11 of 13
Okay. I
and
can read
finishes on
that.
page 12 of 13.
So this was a phone call.
Yes.
All right. So was this a message left or was this a direct contact?
It was a direct contact. I just wrote myself a little spiel before the phone call because I get very anxious in situations like this. I wanted to make sure I knew what to say.
All right. Was there any response to your?
Yes, they agreed initially that they would not contact me and they asked that I send them the same photo of what I said. And I did just that.
So you sent a photo of your script?
Yes.
Somehow. How did you send that?
Via their phone number.
Okay. So a text or something?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. All right. So that was, that's saying March 26th of 2022. And so we're here and you came in September of 2025. So just over 3.5 years. And so now we're here because you get this note, handwritten note. And how do you know this was from Elias Trinan?
Well, I have here the envelope that the note was delivered in that has their handwriting as well as their address on it. And I also know their handwriting from growing up with them, honestly.
Okay. And the guts of it or the context,
Yes.
is that also telling you something?
Yes, I feel that it was their classic signs of manipulation trying to get me back into their life.
I'm still on the issue of trying to make sure you know that this is Elias Trinan sending you this note.
Yes.
Okay, so it's handwritten, you recognize the handwriting.
I also have a card that the note came with that is signed by them as well.
So there's something else that you didn't file with the court? Okay, all right, a greeting card of some nature?
Yes.
But it's this note that caused you to come to court. And this you received July 24th, but you didn't come to court till September. Tell me about that.
So originally I was going to just let it be and not respond to them, but then I got word that they're moving 2 streets away from me in my neighborhood, and that caused immense mental distress to me as soon as I got word of it.
So where'd you get word of that? From whom?
My brother, that currently still lives with the respondent.
Okay. And your brother said, we're moving close to you within 2 blocks?
Yes.
All right. Did that happen?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay. And so you haven't heard from your brother?
I have not heard from him since I filed this petition.
Okay, so you don't know. And so your brother and your parent knew that you were where you were living at the time?
Yes.
Okay. How far away were they before this?
I believe they were living in Rainier, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So you're thinking somewhere else in the county?
Yes.
About a half hour away by car. Okay. All right. So you come into court when you get that information from your brother. You don't know if it's happened or not. If your parent hadn't moved to 2 blocks away, would you have come to court?
I don't believe so. I believe I would have continued the no contact as it was and continued ignoring their advances.
Okay. Ignoring. So was there something between March of 22 and September of 2025? No. Okay, so there hasn't been any
No.
contact from them that you're aware of. All right, so no notes, no phone calls,
No.
no nothing. All right, you initiated the March 22 event to say, don't contact me.
Yes.
And then you hear from your brother. So, all right, so your concern is what?
I'm concerned that them being so close to me will give them easy access to contact me again, which will cause more mental distress on my part.
Okay.
When they
And
contacted me with this letter, I had a full-blown panic attack and started hyperventilating, and my mother or my stepmother had to help calm me down, and my dad had to come over and help calm me down as well because I physically could not get control of myself.
okay. So part of this is that substantial emotional distress caused. Tell me more about, so obviously there wasn't any for the last 3.5 years.
Yes.
But this note comes from your parent and then your brother, but that doesn't the note caused some distress, but then a month and a half later, after you hear they may be coming to live close by, did you have an attack then? What
I did,
happened then?
yes. I got full body chills and again started hyperventilating and shaking. It wasn't as bad as the first one because I knew that I was safe and in my home around people who love me and will support me no matter what I do. But I did indeed, in fact, have another panic attack at that time, yes.
All right. Why do you call it a panic attack?
Because I've been diagnosed with a panic disorder and have been told that it is panic attacks.
Okay. So recently diagnosed?
Yes.
What does recently mean?
2 years ago.
Okay, so that was in 2023?
Yes.
All right, and are you receiving any kind of treatment or medication?
Not currently.
Okay, so you don't need that. How do you deal with this?
Currently, I'm working with my support system and my PCP to figure out non-medicational ways to interfere.
So there's no meetings with therapists or anything?
Not currently, no.
And no medication that needs to be taken?
Not currently, no.
You can work with your support folks and they can help pull you kind of back down to ground
Yes.
if this happens?
Yes.
And how long does that take?
How long does getting me calm take?
Yeah.
It varies depending on the situation. The first instance that I just spoke of, it took about 45 minutes for me to fully calm down again. The second situation only took about 25 minutes.
Okay. And do you live with your support system?
Yes, I live with my stepmother and my father.
All right, so they're right there. Does any of this affect your ability to work or go to school?
Yes, I am unable to work currently because I have so severe panic attacks leaving the house.
Okay, and are those associated with anything other than your
My
parents?
past psychiatrist believed that my diagnosed agoraphobia was a direct relation to the things that I experienced in my childhood.
Okay. All right. And experience in your childhood means this parent?
Yes.
Okay, from the things you detailed in your petition?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And have you ever held a job?
Yes.
Okay, what did you do?
I worked at Colonial Inn as a waitress. I worked at Ulta Beauty as a beauty advisor. And when I was younger, I also worked at my family business.
Okay. With your parent?
Yes.
Okay. And when was the last time you were able to hold a job?
This time last year.
So September of 24.
Yes.
All right. And that was after you received this greeting card and note from your parent and
No, the greeting card and note came in July.
Oh, July of
this year.
This year, excuse me. Right. All right. So did something happen in and around September of last year?
I had just had to miss so much time from my current job due to being ill, physically ill from my anxiety, that it was recommended to me that I quit until I can get my anxiety under control again to a place where I can work a physical job again. Okay.
And so before July of this year, were you closing in on that ability or not?
No.
No. Okay. So this, how would you say the July note, did it set you back, keep you in the same place? What?
It definitely set me back. I had gotten a lot better about leaving my house. For a while, I would only leave with certain people who I felt safe with. and certain people who I felt would protect me if something did end up happening in public, any sort of altercation or anything. And recently I felt safe enough to leave the house by myself for short periods of time until the note came through, and then immediately all the same old feelings came running back, and I'm terrified to go anywhere without anyone.
So since July of this year, now in September, how often do you think you've left your home on your own?
On my own, maybe twice since then.
Twice. And what caused you to leave by yourself?
Once was a dental appointment where I could not get a ride, and another time we needed something from the corner store that's literally 2 blocks away. So I felt that that was close enough to my safe space.
All right. Okay. So you detail going through several years of your life from small to where you are now. Was law enforcement ever involved in some of these things?
When I was younger, law enforcement was called by a family friend, and CPS did open a case on my family at a young age. I'm not sure how old I was at that time, but the case ended up being dismissed.
Okay. Do you think you were above or below 10 years old?
Below.
Okay. Do you think less than 5 or?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So less than 10 years old. You think you remember Child Protective Services. Did you go into care somewhere else?
No.
No. So you stayed home with this parent, and CPS put services into the home as best you can remember? No?
I don't. I've only been told
know.
the story, honestly.
Okay. That's fair. I can't imagine you would know much. All right. So CPS has been involved, at least you think. You were told a story by someone else. And then any other law enforcement contact about the things you said in your petition?
No.
No. All right. That was one time. And you lived with this parent all the way until you were 18?
Yes. And when I was 18, I moved out.
And you're asking, we should do a temporary order that doesn't allow any kind of contact of any sort, to stay 1,000 feet away.
I requested 500 feet.
That's right. It says 500. All right. And why did you request 500?
Because I don't want to ruin their lives. I don't want to change any plans that they may have. So if they do have a genuine reason for moving to my neighborhood, then I don't want to ruin that for them, and I don't want to ruin that for my brother. But I do feel that I need something in place so that I can feel safe in my own neighborhood.
How old is your brother?
He's 23.
Okay, so he's an adult.
Yes.
And do you have contact with him, it sounds like?
Off and on, yes.
Okay. And that's not the issue. The issue is this parent that
Yes.
you're filing against. All right. And you live with your biological father and your stepmom.
Yes.
And up until 18, were you living with your father?
I was living
parent?
with my mother up until 18. Then I moved in with my partner of 5 years for about 2 years. And then I moved in with my father last year.
Okay, so you didn't live with your father when you were a kid?
No.
Okay, all right. Let me see if I have other questions. So that was a question. Who's Miss Molly?
A service dog.
I'm talking to
I'm
this
sorry.
person. That's all right. I'll hear from you. But so that's a dog. And is it the dog that's here?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And how do you know Ms. Molly?
She was my childhood dog.
Okay. So all right. And so the information about Ms. Molly and set up times for you to be together with her, how did that affect you?
One of the tactics that I have noticed a lot over the years has been the respondent using Molly as a bargaining chip with me. A lot of the time, They will tell me things like what you see in the letter, saying that I can see her anytime. The defendant also has told my brother to tell me these things as well, and trying to continue setting up meetings with her, but I don't feel safe doing so since I would have to be so close to the respondent to do so. And I've made that ultimately clear to both parties.
All right. So then with this parent, you haven't had any contact, you said, from March 26th of 2022 until today,
Until July, when she sent the letter.
July,
Yes,
and then today.
Yes.
But with your brother, maybe you've been hearing things.
yes.
Okay, because you said this tactic. So that's what I'd like to know. So it's been 3.5 years. What tactic?
So before, when I lived with my partner at the time, she would do it frequently then. They would call me and tell me that the dog missed me and wanted to see me. They would often drop the dog off for long extended periods of time. There was one instance where the respondent was hospitalized in a mental hospital after I stopped speaking to them, and my brother had me come get the dog from their trailer so that the dog would not be alone anymore.
So this was all since you were 18 to March of 2022.
Yes.
Okay. And was, I guess, you didn't say no.
No.
Okay. You took the dog in or came to get it?
Yes.
All right. Why?
Because ultimately I didn't feel I had a choice, because I do still care for the dog. She was my dog originally, so I have an immense amount of love for that animal, and I don't want anything bad to come to her. So the thought that she was alone in that trailer really hurt me.
So you think that was a tactic, knowing your feelings
No.
about this dog?
I know
No.
that was not a tactic.
Okay, so that was an honest, not a tactic to harass you. So you talked about tactics to harass you or unlawfully harass you before March of 2022. What were some of those?
It was contacting me when I asked them not to, coming over unannounced, bringing their partner at the time over even after I told them specifically that he was not welcome in my home, bringing him to the property after I was told them that my landlord did not want them in my home. And there was another instance when I was in my yard with the respondent, and we got into a heated discussion, and they tried to make entry on my garage. I felt the need to shut the big door and lock all the doors to my house.
So then before March 26th of 2022, there was a time you told this parent not to contact you.
I asked them not to contact me during certain circumstances. So like if I'm busy for the day, please don't contact me. I'm doing this for the day. I'm at work for the day. Like reasons not to contact me, they would still find reasons to do so.
Okay. And so you would communicate this how?
It was either via text, in person, or over the phone.
Okay.
Just depends on the circumstance.
And then when your wish was not followed, how would you respond to all that?
I would often either just ignore it or tell them that they needed to leave me alone and then continue to ignore it.
Okay. Did you have any physical or emotional response from those?
Not that I can recall, no.
Okay. So that kind of started happening. When did you start having the panic attacks or the?
I believe that happened right as I moved out. Once I started feeling safe again, I'm going to say, I noticed what I should feel like on a day-to-day basis. And then when I had contact with the respondent, those feelings came flooding back. So I realized that I did not want to contact with the respondent anymore.
So it was sometime before March of 2022, before you said don't contact, you started having these panic attacks.
Yes, it was about a year before, I believe.
All right, so sometime in 21 somewhere.
Yes.
And then told your parent, don't contact me by phone with the script, gave a photo of the script to them. And then you got the note in July. Then your brother called you?
He called my father. My father told me.
Okay, all right. Step there. All right. Have you talked to your brother about this move at all?
I haven't talked to him about the move specifically, but I did talk to him about the petition.
Okay. All right. And so you don't know if they're 2 blocks away. You thought they were in Rainier.
Mhm.
All right. So I've asked a lot of questions, but anything else you want to say?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, let me just see if I have anything else to ask you before I turn to Elias Trinan. And you did, and this is what I think I recall. So there is presuming it's a Google map.
Mhm.
Um,
The yellow arrow is our house, and then the circled area, or I'm so sorry, the circled area is my current residence. The yellow area is where they're trying to move.
well, what I have is 1904 Bigelow and then a circle all around that. And so is that the 500 feet that you're
Yes.
thinking? Okay. All right. And you think that the residence that they may be going to would be outside of this 500 feet?
Oh, I know it is.
Okay.
They're moving to a property that used to be owned by a family member. So I know where they're planning to move to,
Okay. And,
and that's the marked location.
oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I understand that. All right. Okay, well, I'm going to turn to Elias Trinan and hear the response to this. What would you like to say about all this request for this order?
I never intended to cause any harm or damage to my daughter by sending this letter for her birthday. I have been under the care of a therapist for 5 years with the same therapist, same with a psychiatric med provider. I was counseled by my therapist that since it had been 3.5 years and I'd written her like 15 to 20 letters and burnt them, that it was time for me to send one. So I was going off of the advice of someone who had my mental health and well-being in hand. Can I speak to the things that were filed?
That's what this is all
Okay.
about.
The CPS case, first of all, was opened when Athena was 4, and it was opened because her father had slapped her brother in the face so hard that he left a handprint, and he had spanked Athena so hard that she couldn't sit down. When that was opened, we talked to the caseworker. The caseworker talked to them separately. They came into the home, and ultimately it was decided that we were not in need of further intervention as long as we never repeated that behavior. So from then on, we both were very careful to try to control our anger. As Athena got older, I do agree that I was too hard on her. I do want to take responsibility for some of the things that she filed, but I don't want to go tit for tat. There are a few things that I would like to refute. She states that I forced her to share a room with me when I moved out of my ex-husband's house. When I moved into the house, I moved behind them for ease of transport for our children because they were 50% with me and 50% with him.
So when around was this?
I want to say like 2000, maybe 2001.
Okay.
Um,
So your daughter was about 16, 16? Okay.
15, 16, somewhere in there.
All right.
There's a gate between our houses so they could just go backyard to backyard and be able to see either one of us at any time of the day or night. When we moved into the house behind where Athena lives now, I had to get a roommate because I could not afford the rent on my own. So I had a room, my roommate had a room, and then there was another room. And I offered to my children, either they share a room together or Athena could share with me since we're both female presenting. As soon as Aiden moved out when he was 18,
Aiden is
my son, I'm
okay.
sorry, my son Aiden moved out of my house fully, only coming to stay a night or here or there. He moved out of that bedroom, like I want to say 2 or 3 days later, after we got Athena's new bed frame, we moved her into that bedroom. So for the remaining amount of time she was in my home, she did have her own room. She did have access to a door that shut away from me. I did exist in our room together while she was there. A large part of that was because She was 15, 16, and her partner was there. And I did not feel it was appropriate for them to be in a room with a closed door at that point. So yeah, I hung out in a room. Plus, I'm also physically ill. Uh, so I can't do a lot of things all the time. So I do spend a lot of time kind of sitting in my bed trying to stay out of pain. Um, I am appalled and disgusted. I never masturbated while my daughter was in the room, asleep or not. That's disgusting. I would never do that. I can't imagine where that came from. Um, I am deeply sorry if that was something that she thought she experienced. I never would have done so. Um, I did not knowingly allow a predator into our home. The only time I can think of was a guy I was seeing came over drunk, and he proved that he had very bad intentions. As soon as I figured out what was going on and as soon as I could, I got him out of the house. He actually broke my wrist that night, trying to force me to do things in front of my daughter. That's when I said, okay, no, you're going. Um, I'm not unstable, as was stated in Nikki's statement. I've been med compliant since my diagnoses 5 years ago. I've been with my current therapist and psych provider for 4 to 5 years. I have been hospitalized in the mental ward multiple times. The last one was in the last 4 years. Every time I went in voluntarily, I recognized that I needed more intense care than what I could get outside the ward. Each time I had a total overhaul of my meds until we found the right ones, which I'm currently on. The last time I admitted myself was a year and a half ago. So I've been fully stable, fully med compliant, doing everyday normal stuff since then. I carry a diagnosis of bipolar 2, CPTSD, severe anxiety. I have psychotic tendencies, which is just that I hear voices in my head sometimes. I'm autistic. I have ADHD, but I am currently well medicated. The current letter that I wrote in July, I wrote with the help of my therapist. He helped me to try and make it non-manipulative. He said that I wasn't love bombing, gaslighting, or guilt tripping. He told me he wanted me to send this one because it was her 21st birthday. And he said the worst that would happen was that she would just ignore it. And I guess he was proved wrong here today. Prior to this letter, I did not reach out at all, unless I accidentally happened to be in the same space with her, which the only time I can think of that happened was her great uncle passed away, and I was very close with him and his wife. So his wife invited me to be at the memorial. I stayed as far away from Athena and her father and her stepmother as I possibly could.
When around did that happen?
Like 2 years ago.
So 2023?
No, probably 2024. I think it was last summer.
Okay. So all right. So you're in the same area.
We were at a park, and they had gone, or I was there first, so I stayed as far away as I could to one side. I was dragged back in by Tim's mom. We're still close, so she wanted me to sit with her, but it still was very far away from where Athena and her father and her stepmother were. I didn't even go that way to go to the bathroom, which was the pathway to the bathroom. I went around and went a different way because I didn't want to make her uncomfortable. I don't want to make her father uncomfortable. I just want to exist. And I was really hoping that I was just really hoping that she would read the letter. That's all. I never expected that she would actually reconnect. When I did offer that she could see Molly, and I have in the past, I haven't actually offered in the past. Aiden has taken it upon himself to offer to Athena to be able to see Molly. She is getting older. She's 11. Athena is correct. She was originally our dog, but I got her because she's also my service dog. I want Athena to be able to have any kind of relationship with her as she can possibly have. I've offered to leave my premises so that she can come get her. I've offered, well, Aiden and I talked about, and then he's offered that he can bring her to Athena so that she doesn't have to be anywhere near me. Prior to this letter, I did not go to her place of work. I knew she worked at Ulta. I didn't go there. I went to the other one on the other side of town. I didn't even go to the Target that was next to Ulta because I didn't want her to think that I was just sitting there in my truck watching her. I have tried incredibly hard to turn off the part of me that wants to see her every day. I have not asked her brother for information or details about her when he's gone to visit.
Let me ask you, so the letter that you wrote in concert with your therapist, who you've been with for about 5 years, is what you're saying? This
Yes.
therapist? And you've written several letters and burnt them.
Yes.
And then this letter that was received in July, a gift card, I understand that's not in the court file, but there's a note, a couple of pages, handwritten. And so you say that no intention to harm your daughter, wanted her to read it, but not expect any reunification.
No.
So why?
I have unresolved emotions surrounding my daughter. Or at least I perceived her to be my best friend for years. I probably spoke out of turn about a lot of things, but we did have some really amazing times together.
So you wanted reunification, why? But you didn't expect it. So why write the letter?
Because I was hoping.
Okay.
I was hoping that.
Is it at all part of your therapy?
Yes.
And tell me, why is it part of your therapy?
Because if she had ignored the letter and just let it go, we were going to work on letting her go completely and just wait for her to make the next move instead of me making the next move.
So when did you discover that she was not going to take this note well?
When I was served.
Okay, so in early September.
Yes, ma'am.
And so
up until that point, I thought she was just ignoring it.
Okay, and then since it's part of your therapy and the thought was, well, this will be it, and now I'll have to work on doing without her. Have you started that process?
Yes.
Okay. When did that start? When did you finally decide you had to
It was
give it up?
The second week of August.
Okay, so you gave it about 2 weeks and then started that process. Okay, and then you were served a couple, 3 weeks later. All right.
And we do live in Rainier currently. It is a possibility that we will be moving back to the property that used to belong to my parents. It's not looking real likely at this point. We're still trying to iron out some details. We live in a 38-foot travel trailer, so we have to like get it parked and have hookups and all those things. I need to move in town so that I have access to medical care because I don't drive by myself, and Aiden can't drive yet. I needed to move back in town so that I have access to oh my gosh, my brain just farted. I'm so sorry. So I have access to the therapeutic offerings that are included in living in town. I'm part of a group therapy, support group, I guess. We were a group therapy group. We lost our facilitator and our space, so we got a different one. And I do help kind of run that. So I wanted to be able to have access to the people who might need comfort.
Trying to see if I have any questions of you here before we forward.
The only time that I've been by their house was like, I think in June. I was with a friend of mine and I didn't realize we were going to that neighborhood. She was picking something up from someone that she was talking to online. I was like, we got to hurry up and get out of here. You know, I don't want to be in this neighborhood. This isn't healthy for either one of us. So I did hurry up and get us out of there. But that was the first time I'd been over there since I helped my son get there. I think it was 2 years ago.
So what is this all this court hearing tell you about contact with your daughter?
I guess it's done. I'm going to keep working with my therapist too. let go.
Let me review a few things and then I'll see if I need to ask any more questions. And I've had the opportunity then to read Nicole Hamilton's sworn statement, and that's been helpful as well. So I have to find certain things that I can't find here. I'm not going to issue an order, and I'll tell you why. I have to find that there is an intention to commit a knowing and willful course of conduct that is unlawful harassment by Elias Trinan against Ms. Somerville. I can see that this is not a relationship that is fulfilling nor helpful to Ms. Somerville, and can understand her intention and what she said to her parent way back in March of 2022. But we understand that this letter, this note that was sent in July, was part of a therapist's process, and there wasn't anything within the four corners of that that would be thought of as unlawful harassment. I understand, Ms. Somerville, you're saying all this thing in my life and then here, but it just doesn't amount at this stage to what the law says in unlawful harassment. I'm not saying it's not something you don't want,
Yeah, I
or
understand.
you feel harassed by it. That's valid.
Mhm.
But does the law say it the way the state legislature wrote it? It's not a knowing and willful course of conduct intended without any legitimate purpose by Elias Trinan against you to cause. And I can see you are suffering substantial emotional distress from this contact. And that's why this is not good for your daughter, unfortunately, to have any contact with you. So I'm not going to issue an order, but I got to tell you, there would be a course of conduct. There would be the ability for the court potentially to a legal standard to find a course of conduct if there's contact after this hearing with Ms. Somerville. Even if it were part of your therapy to write a note, you best talk to your therapist, because your therapist would have no idea as much as you would, but, well, may have some idea, but we can't put that on that therapist's shoulders. But we've all had this hearing and understanding. And so again, if there was contact with Ms. Somerville from you, this would be taken into account, may potentially find that course of conduct, may potentially find that your intent was not so much therapy or no intention to harm. At that point, it would look a little more suspicious.
Yes, ma'am.
Right now, I think it was unintended to harm your daughter and not intended to commit unlawful harassment. And now you've got to do your end and work on the therapy that you've started and make that tough realization that Ms. Somerville is better without you. And she knows she's better without you. And that just happens, you know. So I'm going to deny the petition in that sense, not issue an order going farther, but doesn't mean that anyone gets to have contact. You don't have to have contact with anyone you don't want to. And, but there isn't any prohibition. Now, maybe if you have good contact with your brother, maybe that would be a good thing that you could find out if indeed they start to move to the old family property. And then you could be forewarned. You know, it's up to you though, you know, if that's through your family or not, or what, you make those decisions. All right, so that's it for today. I'll sign that denial order. I can hand you copies today if you wanted to wait, or it'll be in the court file for you to get. What would you like to do?
I'll just wait for it. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So, and who are you?
My name is Nicole Lynn Hamilton. I am your staff.
Okay, you got a question?
So if Elias Trinan does move into the neighborhood, at what point would it be unlawful contact with her, possibly driving through the neighborhood and driving by our house? At what point do we start documenting?
Well, I can't answer what you're going to do or not do, and I can't answer a maybe, a supposition, I got to see facts and then apply the law. So, all right. I can't give you any advice of any kind. All right. Let me finish this up. Just stay right where you are. It's probably easiest that way. Ms. Somerville, if you could come on up here, we'll give you a copy, then you and your people can be on your way. Maybe you can wait 5 minutes, let them clear, so you don't have to bump into each other and you can step back. Let's see, Faith Stemple, are you in the courtroom? Why don't you come on up, have a seat at the table there. Let's see, Jesse Madigan is on Zoom.
I'm here.
Jesse Madigan, you can, there you are. All right, so we're taking up case 25284, and this is a request by Ms. Stemple for an order against Mr. Madigan. There was a temporary order issued, so let me put you both under oath. Ms. Stemple, raising your right hand, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Madigan, raise your right hand with me. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, so what I'm doing here, I'm looking at screens here. I'm looking at the court file electronically, so you know what I'm looking at, of all the information that was filed. And so first, Mr. Madigan, I see that you did receive notice of all this, opening that up on the 8th of September. And let's see, looks like you got the petition, the order, which gave you this court date. Are you prepared to go forward to defend against this request for an order against you?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay. And is there anything that you wanted to present to the court other than testimony?
I do not have anything, Your Honor.
Okay. And then Ms. Stemple, then, are you prepared to go forward on this request for an order today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And there anything other than what you've already filed with the court? Anything else that you wanted the court to look at or someone to hear from?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Well, you would be aware. You're the one. Okay. All right. So then what we'll do here is I'm going to hear from both parties. I'll start with Ms. Temple first, and then I'll turn to Mr. Madigan and see, does you have to apply what evidence is admissible and relevant material. I have to apply the law to this. And then we'll see if an order can continue or not. But right now, there is a temporary order. I always want to go back and just review what I reviewed earlier in preparation for court, just so I know where I am on this. So give me a moment just to re-review what you filed with the court, Ms. Temple. And then I'll turn to you. All right, so I do notes and I remember more clearly now. So then Ms. Temple, why should the court issue this order for a farther? Well, let me first ask, Mr. Madigan, do you object to the court issuing an order against you?
Not entirely. There is some things that were marked down on the paper that I received that I do disagree with, and some of the things that were written down, but I do not disagree to the order itself.
So you read the order, right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So looking at that order, if that were to issue against you, knowing that a violation of it would be potentially a criminal offense that could put you in jail.
Right.
Anything about that order that you object to, or if I were to sign off on this order, you'd be okay? It's up to you.
So basically, I don't think that she is telling the truth, for
You're
one.
just about the order. No, I'm asking you
Right.
very particularly, if you do object to me signing the order as it is,
Okay,
tell
then
me
no, I
that.
object.
You
If
don't?
as it
No.
is, then I object.
Okay, all right, then we'll go forward with full hearing from both sides. And that's, sometimes folks don't care. All right, so back to you, Ms. Temple, then. Had a chance, obviously, to review all this before court and today, and what caused you to come to court most recently? I understand you've been in a relationship with Mr. Madigan for how long?
3 years.
3 years. And were you living together?
Yes.
Okay. And then when did that end?
August 18th.
So this year.
Yes.
And that was when, soon after that, you came into court.
Yes.
Okay, so the event that you
It was
detail, go
I'm
ahead.
so sorry. It
Go
was the
ahead.
day of I filed the restraining order.
Okay, so that's what brought you to court after this 3-year relationship, is that event? The 4:41 in the morning?
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't understand. I went through his phone and I found CP. I don't know what CP is.
Child pornography.
Ah, okay. And you saw that, and then you went to the police station?
Immediately, yes.
Okay. And did you have his phone, or what did you do then?
After I had found out, I had contacted my family for advice because this was a very serious situation. And so my older sister had advised me to take it to the police station. I had arrived at the Yelm police station and I had called them confirming that this is the jurisdiction. It wasn't. So I had driven to the Pierce County District Sheriff's County office, and I had told the receptionist what I had found, and she referred me to one of the deputies on duty at the time.
And so did you have the respondent's phone?
Yes, I had brought the phone with me.
And so you took it, did you give it to the Pierce County Sheriff?
Yes, I turned it in for evidence.
All right. And then, did you have a discussion with a sheriff at that point?
Very briefly, but I had inputted a written statement
With them?
for what I had seen to give them a warrant.
Okay. So then after you had contact with Pierce County Sheriff, what did you do next?
After that, after I had been with the Pierce County Sheriff, I went to my grandmother's house. And I will say, after I went to the Pierce County Sheriff Department, the screenshot of the location is him arriving 30 minutes after I went. At least an hour after he had woken up, finding out that I had left.
So screenshot, I should look into your exhibits here. One of these
I
images
admitted
you're
it
saying?
last night,
Oh,
so I'm very sorry.
location picture. We do have it in here. Okay, so I've got a screenshot. So what is this? Tell me.
It's telling you that that is where my location was at the time. It doesn't show that I am personally on there.
Is this from your phone?
Yes, because I had taken myself off of the Find My app, so that's why it doesn't show me. And I had screenshotted it after I had found out that he had arrived at the police department, and I had showed the deputy on at the time when I was with him. I was terrified for my life. And
so it's early in the morning when you get to the sheriff?
Yes, it was 10 a.m.
Okay, well, 10. All right. And when did you see this screenshot that you've made for me? What When did that come up?
of the location.
Yeah. Was
I
that
had
while you were at the sheriff?
Yes, I had
Okay.
screenshotted it.
All right. And so you're at the sheriff's and you notice, and the screenshot is telling me that Mr. Madigan is close by.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm trying to see where the,
It's
we've
a
got-
little off from where the exact
Always
location of the sheriff department, but it shows like the symbol and some of the lettering.
symbol. Find it. I've got the Parkway Animal Hospital, the Smoke Zone, the Pico de Gallo. We're at Pacific Avenue and just past 143rd Street.
On the
So
very right of the screenshot.
very right. Parkland. Oh, I see. It's kind of cut off. Okay. So Parkland, Spanaway, that there's the sheriff badge or a badge of law enforcement to take that. So that's where you are. And then you notice that he's a couple of blocks away at that time. And is that live time?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And so what am I to take from this?
To show that he had followed me after I had taken his phone to the sheriff's department.
How do you think he could have followed you? How would he know if you have your phone and you have his phone?
It seemed, to my assumption, that he had logged into the Find My on somebody else's device. So it showed his personal login location on that specific device.
Okay. So then you also assert, all right, so it's about 10 o'clock, that he pursued hunting you with 2 trucks and 3 men. Can you tell me about what that's all about?
I found out that it was only 2 men, but the one truck was his father's truck. So his father was the one who was at the sheriff's office with him.
You know this, though.
I looked, there's a Ring camera footage, and I looked at the make and model of his car. I had taken a photo of somebody who had worked on my car, and his car was in the background and is the exact same make and model. So I am assuming at this point right now.
So the Ring camera from where?
The property that we were living on.
Okay, so when did you get, all right, so you have that, you can access that on your phone.
Yes, I can.
Okay, and so while you're at the sheriff's office, you're accessing that Ring camera information?
Not
No.
at the moment.
Okay, so when did you feel you were being pursued and quote hunted by others on his behalf?
The property owner, the wife, she had messaged me about it. She was keeping in contact, telling me some specifics of his whereabouts, whether he was at the property at the moment or not. And so she had let me know all this information, that the 2 men and the 2 trucks were there. And so then I proceeded to look at the Ring camera footage.
Okay, so then you're looking at the Ring camera footage. It's after you've met with the sheriff. So generally, when do you think?
When I was looking at it,
Yeah.
I would say the day after.
Okay, so it would have been, so you say you came into court, let's see, the day it all happened, the day that you saw what you thought you saw on his phone. I'm just trying to get to that right now. And that would have been, so August 18th. So August 19th, you start looking at the Ring camera footage of where you live with him.
Yes.
So is that something that's happening right then on August 19th, or is something that was preserved from earlier?
It was preserved from when the vehicles had arrived initially at the property.
Do you know when that information was collected?
Can you specify?
Well, I'm trying to figure out when you thought, because it makes it, when this Ring camera, you access this Ring camera through your phone, and it's of the property that you share with the respondent at the time. you came into court August 18th, but you say you're looking at this ring camera information.
Oh,
Do you know
okay.
when that ring camera information was happening?
Yes, all the footage I was looking at was from the time I had left up until he had decided to leave the property. I did not think to look at the footage the day of me filing the restraining order. And
This was the morning of August 18th, the day that you did file for the restraining order.
Yes, all the footage is of August
Okay,
18th.
so what are you seeing on this ring camera footage?
I am seeing his father being, my assumption, the first person to arrive to the property to pick him up, to drive to my location at the sheriff's department, and then his best friend arriving after at the property, and then him and his father meeting with him at the property, his father leaving, him and his best friend staying at the property for however long they did after that.
All right, and you're saying you're assuming, did you see the father?
Yes, but he was wearing a cap, so I could not identify his face.
So you think it's his father. Why do you think it's his father?
Due to the fact that I had seen his car's make and model in the ring camera footage and in a photo I had taken previously in our relationship. And his physical build is at least 5'5", slender, white. So it matched the description.
And the car, you're talking about father's car or the respondent's car?
Father's car.
Okay. And then the best friend, did you see the best friend at the property? Did you?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you were able to see that person, identify them at the property that you shared.
Yes.
All right. And then, do you know how, all right. And then, because you're alleging here something fairly nefarious, and I'm trying to figure this out. You said you were pursued and hunted with 2 trucks and 3 men. So
that's how I felt.
okay, and this is what you're talking about when you looked at the ring camera information.
Yes.
That's where you're getting this idea. Anything else that gave you that idea?
He had tried calling me 46 times while on my way to the sheriff's department.
So that was sometime between 4 and 10 in the morning?
From 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
9 to 10 a.m. All right. So 46 calls on your phone. And if you had his phone, how did they come in? How did you know it was the respondent?
The owner of the property, the wife that I had talked about, her name is Jessica. She had let me know beforehand to block her, letting me know that he was going to take her phone and use it to call me.
Okay. All right. And so it came in as Jessica.
Yes.
All right. And did you answer any of those calls?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And how did you, was there other information that told you it was not Jessica, but the respondent?
Besides her telling me that it was him calling me? No.
Okay. All right. So all those calls, and then, so you say, so when we go back to this screenshot, open that again. There it is. Location picture in my file that was available to everybody. So you're at the sheriff's about 10 o'clock in the morning. When did you leave the sheriff?
I would say 11:30.
Okay. And then where did you go then?
I went to my grandmother's house.
Okay. Did you cross paths with the respondent at any time that morning?
No.
Okay. So have you seen the respondent since you filed for this order?
No.
Okay. So you go to your grandmother's, and then what?
Can I backtrack for a
Sure.
second? The screenshot of the text messages of him trying to contact me initially through text message before he had contacted me through phone. He had sent me a photo of his arm bloody, and Jessica had informed me that he had punched out a window. And that definitely gave me a scare because he is willing to harm himself.
So this was, it was filed August 19th, which makes sense. And it says, please answer. It's Jesse, please, baby, please. And then a picture of a bloodied, an arm with lots of blood spots on it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Please come back. Please answer. Honey, please just once. So you received this, you think, when?
I did not receive the messages on my phone because I had blocked his
Okay.
number and Jessica's number. So I cannot, this is a screenshot Jessica had sent me from her phone, I believe.
Okay. And so you got this later. It says 10:30. I don't know.
It was probably when he got back from the department then.
So you think it was sometime on the 18th of August during the day, because it's late outside. It looks like there's grass underneath.
Since I didn't receive them at the moment, I didn't know the time that it was sent.
Okay, and so you got this from somebody else. Do you recognize this arm as the respondent's?
Yes, it is. And though in the photo, those are my Crocs
Those are your Crocs that somebody else is wearing, or?
that Jesse Madigan is wearing
Okay, why would he be wearing your Crocs?
because I believe he didn't want to put his own shoes on at the moment.
Okay. And there's not a whole lot of identifiers in this picture. It's grass. There's the white something going along the grass underneath. Anything about this picture tell you anything more?
Besides his skin tone, no.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you get that from the property owner that you were living, and you're thinking this is also, what are you thinking? I mean, there's blood on an arm. What are you thinking?
Initially, it looks like a threat
Why?
because if he's willing to harm himself to get me back, he's willing to harm me.
And why do you think is this something that's happened in the past, threats to self-harm?
He has mentioned to me in the past that if I left, he would kill himself.
Okay. And did you hear that more than once?
Yes.
So in 3 years, and how did that affect you when he would say things like that?
At first, I did try to break up with him once before. I do not know the date of this, but it was this year that I know of. I had came up to him and tried to approach him gently, saying, hey, this is not working out. I think that, I was trying to have a discussion with him, asking him, is this even what you want in a relationship? And telling him that this is not what I want in a relationship. And he proceeded to start crying and telling me that he has nowhere to go, he has nothing to live for, and that essentially that he needed me in his life.
So nothing to live for. Did he say something like, I'm going to kill myself if you leave? Or that was how he coined it, nothing to live for?
I think other than that interaction, he had just casually mentioned it as sort of a joking manner, I believe. Kind of like, oh, if you ever leave, I'll kill myself.
So when did you start believing that this was a threat to you?
When I had found out that he's not the person that I thought he was.
So on the 18th?
Yes.
Okay, so before that, you didn't think he would harm you. Did you believe he would harm himself?
Yes, and he does have anger issues with the screenshot of, or not the picture of my passenger visor mirror.
Mhm. The right side mirror. All right.
That one I specifically submitted because one day we were going to DSHS to get food benefits for him. They had turned him down, and it was an easy solvable problem. And he had gotten angry and punched the roof of my car very hard and had shattered the mirror. And so at that point, I knew that if he had any vendetta against me, he was strong enough to hurt me. And
So this is in a visor,
yes,
and the visor is up,
yes,
and he punched the roof, which meant he ended up punching the visor, which broke this mirror.
yes, out of
And you,
anger.
okay. How soon did you discover that that was broken?
Immediately.
Okay. And then, all right, so that actually is a ways back that you believed he could harm you. He had the capability. Do you know when
Yes.
that was generally? Last year, this year?
I would say last year.
Okay, so sometime in 2024. All right. All right, and so then this year sometime you tried to break up with him. He says, "I have nothing to live for, nowhere to go." And how did that discussion resolve itself?
I ended up giving in to his pleading and continued to stay in the relationship.
Okay. And then August 18th or August 14th occurs. You're looking at his phone, trying to get my dates right. August comes. You end up at the sheriff's. Because of the Ring camera information, you believe that he is trying to find you or track you down with others. Did he? And he never did.
He didn't successfully, no.
Okay. And right, let me see if I have other questions. If you have other things, I'll come back to you. But you also have pictures of a camper, a door, and a camper front door that are labeled as such in the file. And what's this about? What am I supposed to take from those?
So that is the camper door window that he had punched out.
Okay. And do you know when this happened?
That was on the 18th.
Okay. And so after or before you left?
After I had left.
All right. And how did you know? So obviously somebody took a picture. Did you take a picture? How'd you get this?
After he had left and I filed the temporary restraining order and I got confirmation from the property owner that he was not on the property anymore, I had went back to collect my belongings. And then I had taken a picture then.
Okay, so on the 18th, you went back to the property.
Not on the 18th.
Oh, maybe the 19th, the day
I can't,
after?
no, it was 2 weeks after.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I did not feel safe.
So the end of August,
Yes,
beginning of September. You contacted the property owner, Jessica,
yes.
discovered it was safe to go in and get your stuff. So you got your stuff. Okay, so 2 weeks later. And so if you see this 2 weeks later, why do you think it? How do you know who did it and when it happened?
It was the only window that was shattered. Besides, well, no, that was the only window shattered after I had been informed that he had broken a window.
So you didn't see him do it. It was good before you left. 2 weeks later, it's broken. Looks like the place is kind of trashed.
It was like that before I left.
Okay. So it's the door looks off kilter. Was it also like that before you left? Okay. So the door was already not good, but the window in the door was different. That's what was broken.
Yes.
Okay. And that was 2 weeks later. And why do you say that the respondent did this?
The messages from Jessica
Okay.
telling me that he had punched a window, the photo evidence of his arm bleeding, and then me only saying that that was the only window that had been punched.
Okay. All right. And then let's see, there's other things that you provided the court. Just want to go through. So since you came to the court to file for this order, you haven't seen nor heard from the respondent. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so no texts, no photos, no messages through others.
His father had contacted my grandmother.
Okay.
That's the only form of contact that happened.
Okay. And all right. I have other questions here. All right, so I mean, some things you're alert, he's not willing to clean up after himself, but angry over video games, impact on your relationship, punched the roof of your car that we've got evidence of, it shattered the mirror that was in the visor, threatened to kill himself if we ever broke up. Constant stonewall, what does that mean?
If I were to ever open up to him emotionally, there would just be nothing.
Okay. All right, and then so held me down during playing around. What's that mean?
Oh, sometimes it's like if I were to ever pretend to wrestle him, if we were to ever doing that type of stuff or play fighting, he would hold me down with all of his weight.
And did he know you didn't want that?
I believe he got off of me when I said no.
Okay. So it wasn't as if you had to struggle or repeatedly tell him to stop that?
Yes.
Okay. Did that happen often?
No.
Okay. All right. And then you say you've had heart palpitations and chest pain. Was that throughout this relationship or more recently or what?
I started noticing heart palpitations during our relationship, not before, but during and after. I've gone an EKG for it, but nothing came up certain.
In talking with the medical providers, did you get an idea about why that was happening?
I have been talking to medical providers, but I have yet to get a referral to a cardiologist.
But you apparently think it has something to do with that. Why did you put it in your petition, I guess is the question.
I believe it's causing physical distress to my body.
Okay. All right. I've asked a lot of questions here. Anything more that you want me to focus in on or anything else you'd like to say that you haven't been able to say?
I have been diagnosed with multiple disabilities as hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome,
What that
autism,
is.
and ADHD,
Okay.
and generalized anxiety disorder.
And has that occurred during this relationship?
This was before the relationship.
Okay. All of it?
Yes.
Okay. And what are your disabilities? How do they, yeah.
I'm so sorry. The hypermobile was diagnosed during the relationship.
So how does that affect you? What does that prevent you from doing or?
I have a poor judgment on how violent or aggressive someone will be.
Okay. So you're not a good judge of your own self-protection, kind of your own, if something dangerous is coming, that's part of the condition.
Yes.
You're not able to judge that well. All right. And is there anything you can do to help with that, or is there anything you're taking or doing to help with that?
I think the second or third day after I had enrolled back into counseling services.
Okay. After you filed this petition?
Yes.
Okay. And so it's really just kind of talk therapy that helps with that potentially.
Yes.
Okay.
I take propranolol for my heart too.
Okay. So medication to regulate your heartbeat.
And headaches.
And headaches. Okay. And those have all been, some of that has been diagnosed before, but now you're experiencing more in this relationship, and now back to therapy 2 or 3 days after you filed for this order and this event occurred. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to? You brought somebody with you. Is that someone you wanted the court to hear from or not? You don't have to, but that's up to you. Oh, you're Steve's Temple? Okay, right. All right. Anything else you can think of, or you take a moment there and think. I've talked to my clerk anyway, so we're probably going to get a new court. Well, we are going to get a new court date for number 4 and 8. So let's get that together. But you have the packet. Actually, thanks. And then if you could kind of pull that together, we'll figure out a date. Okay. Anything else come to mind?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to turn to Mr. Madigan. Mr. Madigan, so obviously you had a chance to look at a lot of this, read the petition. This is your opportunity to tell me why I shouldn't issue this order. So
Right.
what do I need to know?
So basically, I'll explain to you my side. I woke up the morning of the 18th, I believe, about 8 o'clock, 8:30. And I woke up and I realized that all my belongings were missing. My phone, my TV, my Xbox, PlayStation, monitors, everything like that. She had taken everything from me and I didn't know what was going on. Right? I had absolutely zero clue what was going on. I woke up, I realized that she was also gone and I didn't know what to do. So that's when I had went to Jessica to ask for her phone to be able to contact Faith because I didn't know what was going on. About an hour and a half later, maybe at about 11 o'clock, I'm not sure, my father showed up because she had contacted not only my father and my mother, but multiple of my family members about what she was doing with whether it was my phone or my belongings or whatever the case may be. Right. And I would have submitted those to the court, but I was not able to get a hold of my family members who had the screenshots of those conversations because she sent the messages from my phone to my family members.
Okay.
And the trucks that she saw, yes, they were my father's and my friend's truck. Yes, it was my father and my friend, but no, we did never pursue her or her family for any of my belongings. My dad showed up at the property because Faith had texted him through my phone saying what she was doing with my phone and turning it into the police station. So he had showed up to the property to make sure that I was all right. I had texted my friend from my father's phone to see if maybe he could help me out and get some of what belongings I still had left to somewhere else to make sure that she couldn't take anything else. There's already an open police report for the fact that she had taken a bunch of my belongings. It's a grand theft because it's multiple thousands of dollars worth of belongings in clothes, electronics, miscellaneous items, collectibles, whatever it may be. And ever since then, I've just kind of been sitting here and dealing with this whole situation. This whole situation has costed me to lose my job. It has costed me to lose my place of living, and it has costed me my income.
So get back to this. So we have this screenshot that we've talked about,
Right.
purple circle, and what's this? What do you take from this?
The location screenshot, you say?
Yes.
So I didn't. I did end up showing up to that police station, but that wasn't until about maybe noon, give or take, maybe 12:30, and then my friend had taken me there as well.
Why did you
Because
end
I
up
didn't
there?
know it was. What was up?
Why did you go there?
Because I didn't know where my phone was or any of my belongings were, and my friend was able to track the location of my phone, and he saw that my phone was there, so that's where we had went, so I could talk to the sheriffs or whoever was there to see what was going on, because I had no idea what was going on.
Okay. So you received, or through your father received certain messages from whom? You think?
From Faith texting from my phone before
Oh.
she had turned it into the police.
All right. All right. And then, so you're missing a TV, Xbox, your phone, other things.
Oh, I've got a whole list of stuff, and it's already on a police report.
All right.
She
And
still
so
has
then,
my bank cards as well. She still has some other personal belongings of mine that I need, like insurance cards and court paperwork from my car accident a couple years ago. Yeah.
Okay. So have you gotten any of that back?
I've gotten my car keys and a small box of belongings where half the stuff wasn't even mine. It was still hers.
Okay. All right. So so do you agree you've been together about 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And this was the final breakup, sounds like.
Yes.
All right. Anything you want to comment about the previous events that came? I mean, this came, we got 3 years here. Is there anything you want to comment about that? You mentioned there were some things you didn't agree with in the petition.
Right. So in the petition, there were some boxes marked off saying like electronic monitoring for an ankle bracelet and treatment as a sex offender. I don't need an ankle monitor, nor am I a registered sex offender, so
Well,
I
this
don't need
court
that.
doesn't have that authority, so I
Right.
can't really deal with
Okay.
any of that. So you don't have to worry about that.
Right. And then as of
What
for
else?
recent events, she did try to break up with me once. And I did not say that I would kill myself, but I did say that I did not have much to live for. I will be honest and transparent about
Okay.
that because I'll be honest, I was raised with not a whole lot. I didn't have a whole lot of family. I've never had a whole lot of friends. So in my life, in my very small circle, she was really all that I had. So I
Okay.
really did not have much.
So what did you mean by that? What did you want her to
It's
take?
what's up?
What did you want her to take from that statement?
I just wanted her to know that I valued her a lot. I valued her a lot. She was the only person in my life that made me feel like I was worth something.
All right. And then this photograph that we have of an arm outside that looks bloody.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yes, that is me. Yes, I punched out the window. And I will say, have never let my anger or my emotions ever get the best of me like that. And at the time, again, it was still at the time where I had no idea what was going on. And all I knew was she was gone and so were all of my belongings. So yes, I was very frustrated.
All right. So that's when you punched out the camper door window.
Yes.
All right. So that was what, the day of or day after, somewhere in
The
there?
day of, yes.
Okay. And you hurt yourself in the process. So did you take that picture?
Yes.
And where'd you send it?
Two-face number.
Why?
Obviously, she did not see it because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what she was gone for. I didn't know what was going. I thought she had left and just took my stuff because she felt like it. Like I said, I didn't know what was going on. Or
Why? What did you want? I guess a better question is, what did you want her to take from that picture of your bloody arm?
to let her know that I wasn't okay.
Okay, meaning, what did you want her to do about that?
I mean, I thought we were still in a relationship at the time, so I was hoping maybe for some comfort or some love or whatever the case may be. Because like I said, I've never self-harmed myself. I've never done anything like that in my life, and that's the first time I've truly ever let my anger or my emotions get the best of me. So I was just looking for some comfort,
what
some
did you
love,
hope
whatever
for
the
the
case may be.
result? Okay, what did you hope for the result from that picture being sent to Ms. Stemple?
That she would come back.
Okay, all right. And all right. And I see that there were words around that. Were those your words? Please come
Yes, ma'am.
back. Okay. Why wasn't that enough as opposed to sending a picture of your bloody arm?
Because in the past, sometimes words haven't been enough with her. Sometimes I need to send her or show her what's going on for her to understand the severity of a situation.
Okay. What have you sent in the past then to help her understand what you're thinking or what you need?
When I had gotten into a car accident, basically, she thought it was something really minor and was kind of just blowing it off until I had sent her pictures and video of the car that I was in and the other car that hit us that was flipped over in the middle of the highway and everything like that. So ever since then, if she isn't taking something serious, I usually tend to send a picture to show the severity of what's going on.
All right, so the car accident that you didn't feel she was taking seriously, send her pictures that it was bad. Anything
Yes.
else that you've had to do that to get her understanding?
Not that I can remember, but there were a couple other situations that I just cannot remember. My apologies.
Okay, but you have some recollection of sending photos to reinforce what, maybe to reinforce what? That she should come back, that she should worry about you?
To understand the severity of what's going on and why it's not as simple or complicated as it may seem.
Okay. But to understand, and then hoping that if she understood that severity, what would you hope she would do with that?
At least come back and try and talk to me.
All right. So you don't know what kind of pictures or information you sent?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Okay. Okay. So anything else you want to say on this?
Let me look through these papers, see if there's anything I can reiterate on. My apologies.
Go ahead.
Not that I can think of with the whole situation at hand. All I can say is I would just like my belongings back before a lawsuit is filed.
Right. Yeah, this isn't the lawsuit that can provide any relief there.
Right. No, I understand.
All right. Let's see if I got some other questions here. So you don't live at this place either anymore, the trailer
No,
that
ma'am.
we have pictures of. Okay. And we understand from Ms. Temple that there hasn't been any contact between the two of you. She hasn't sought you out. You haven't sought her out since the
No, Your Honor.
18th. Okay. All right. And you were together for 3 years. You haven't sought her out.
No, ma'am.
That's kind of, why not? You didn't get served this until later, so kind of wondering.
Well, I didn't want to. I knew that this protection order was coming, and I just hadn't been served with it yet. So I just wanted to not press the issue or further the issue at hand.
Well, it was served on you on what, September 8th. This occurred around August 18th. So there's a lot of time between that.
So I believe either it was the day of, or maybe it was the day after, maybe the day after that of the 18th. I'm sorry, I cannot remember a specific date. She had texted, I believe it was my stepmom or either my father, that she was going to put a protection order on me. And so ever since I knew about that, I have veered away. I haven't even tried to send anybody out there. I haven't went out there myself. I have not tried calling or texting her from any other people's phones. I haven't tried from my own device. I have veered away because, again, I don't want to push the issue even more.
Okay, I see. So you kind of knew through your family then early
Yes.
on. Okay, that's why you haven't. Right. Okay, anything else, Mr. Madigan?
Not that I could think of, no, Your Honor.
Okay, let me kind of look through everything one last time and see if I have any further questions of anyone. All right, so Ms. Stemple, Mr. Madigan, I am granting an order to Ms. Stemple preventing you from having contact with her. And I find under the law here that there has been, through this time frame, this event and previous events, of course, the conduct directed at Ms. Stemple by you that does constitute an unlawful harassment. The damaging of her property, the threats to her take on it, threats to harm yourself or kill yourself if she were to leave, which manipulated her back into a relationship. Your take on it is she was important to you and wanted her to know that. The sending of this bloodied arm showing the extent to which you'll go if she's not apparently there or responding to you or being in the relationship is mirrored in your behavior previous to that. Shows, the words come back, that's one thing, but then showing a bloodied arm gives further manipulation and intimidation, which was taken and which has caused serious emotional distress, detrimental to the petitioner. There was no lawful or legitimate purpose for that. So this order will be in effect for a year, and you don't contact Ms. Stemple in any way, shape, or form. So
Okay.
not through family, not through friends, not through social media, not in person,
Yes, ma'am.
not at all. So
May I add one thing, if you don't mind, Your Honor?
sure, go ahead. What?
She said that the damage to the property was hers. The property was mine.
Yeah.
I'm sure that doesn't make a difference, but I just had to put that out there.
Not much. It sounded like the place was trashed before all this happened anyway. So that's what I asked and that's what I was told. So that's not something I'm taking into consideration. So I'm going to write this up. This order is available to you through your Zoom instructions. It's available to you by contacting the civil department. You can stop in, you can call, however, but this order is probably important for you to have a copy of. So I suggest that you do access it because it's in effect now. All right. So again, feel free to contact the civil department to get a copy, or you can go to the court file by this afternoon, certainly, and get your own copy, or stop in and you can get a copy. But it doesn't have to be served on you because you're here. You know what it says. It matches the temporary order. It's in effect at least until September 15th of 2026. And Ms. Madigan, if within 3 months of that time, if after June 15th, you want to ask the court to consider having this order go longer, you would have to let the court know you want that. And then we would set a hearing and everyone would be heard from again before that could happen. But the order will expire on its own on September 15th of 2026 unless you do something about it far in advance. And don't wait until September if you want the court to consider that, because the order would likely expire before you could have that hearing. I'm going to give Ms. Stemple a copy since she's here, but that's it for today. Mr. Madigan, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you can be on your way.
Thank you. Have a good one.
We're back on record on 251799FY, the People versus Julian Santana.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Donna Silva on behalf of the people, case 7439.
And good afternoon, again, Your Honor, Viviana, 44626, appearing on behalf of Mr. Julian Santana, who's also present. Sir, state your name for the record, please.
Julian Santana.
All right, so we've already covered all of the exam information. My understanding is there's an allegation, there's a bond violation.
Yes, Your Honor, and before we get to that, I did want to give the court an update. I checked that Instagram account just to see what sister counsel was saying, if it's not his account or anything. Upon checking it, there's actually new information. I have supplied this to sister counsel, and I can show the court. It's actually a footage of another picture with Mr. Santana holding two guns. You can see his GPS tether, you can see his cross neck tattoo, not his face, but you can see that identifying unique tattoo. In another post, it has and these are 24-hour stories. They're only lasting 24 hours and then they're erased. Another one is a timer, a countdown to court today. The timer has gone off, meaning he's in court today. Another picture of like a picture taken, a person of their outfit, and you can tell this person's wearing a black suit with very unique shoes that I must put on the record. They're black, like Converse type sneakers with silver spikes on the tip and some red.
You can see them very clearly in the image. They are also the shoes that Mr. Santana is wearing right now. And you can see the picture that he took, it matches the carpet in the back. And I think that is enough.
Picture in the courtroom?
I think so. I'm not
Judge,
100%, but it is similar to.
All right.
That
All right, well, we're ready to proceed to the hearing.
needs to be displayed.
All right, can you get them up on the screen or?
Let me,
All right,
I'm logging into this.
And Judge,
I'm gonna shout, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, you've seen all this. You've had a chance to look at
yes,
it. All
I
right,
want you to see it too, Your Honor, so I can do the explanation that I think is appropriate.
I'm dying to hear it.
It's taking a while just because the videos need to upload in unison. So I'll start with this one.
Are you in Zoom?
I'm logging back on.
Okay.
And Judge, just as a heads up, my client about 3 years ago offered to testify on behalf of the prosecutor's office against individuals. He did testify. He now believes that they are doing this to go after him, to cause trouble for him. And his mother, who is present in the courtroom, took his phone back in July of 2025. He has no access to phone. He's on house arrest as well as GPS tether.
All right, let's see the videos.
So he can't.
I mean, how, someone's not gonna be able to make that up though, miss. Now, if everything she's telling me is accurate,
We'll see, Judge.
all right, we'll see, let's look.
And I must say, she indicated, sister counsel indicated that he does not have a phone and that he hasn't done anything, but he was in my office and he made a comment. I sent these pictures to a group chat indicating he does have access to some phone or a computer or something that can send out pictures.
All right, let me just,
And a
let me see what we have.
Right.
He was put on bond conditions. He was arraigned after multiple court appearances.
Yeah, he's on $100,000 cash surety bond with house arrest and GPS tether. And it's at his mother's house and she's present.
No, I have that the party stipulated to a bond reduction of $20,000, 10% with GPS.
That's not true.
You're gonna stand up.
Hold on, no, nobody's speaking right now, just. All right, I see on June 30th, there is a $100,000 surety bond, and so we can see your email account.
It's just taking forever to load. Okay, I will begin with this one. It's a duration. It's just a screen recording provided to me by the officer in charge. This is from September 3rd to September 4th. This was sent to me on Thursday, September 4th. It is 31 seconds. Starting at 0 minutes, 0 seconds. Starting over at 0 minutes, 0 seconds.
Can we stop there for a second?
No, I want to go back. Go back. Can you pause it?
Yes. So
Right
this
there,
is-
pause it.
Oh.
Can I see your hand, sir? The back. I want to see this part.
Judge, this is dated April the 4th.
Your Honor, this is not what's actually being submitted for the bond violation. This is to show proof that this is him identifying tattoos as an image posted as a permanent post on this Instagram profile.
Okay.
What's actually relevant is the story that only lasts for 24 hours, then it expires. So
He
this
was
is
not
just,
even charged to do this incident.
All right, so she's just, so this picture is just to show, identify him using this Instagram account.
correct.
Gotcha.
This is the one and only image posted on this
So
Instagram
I'm
account on
not,
April
this
4th.
is not a bond violation because he wasn't on bond. I got it. All
And
right,
that Instagram account, and all of his accounts have been closed by his mother.
doesn't look like it.
This
We'll
one,
see. Shh, I don't want to hear anyone talking in the audience. I need to see what I'm looking at.
Refer, here, as you can see, this is the Instagram profile. There's only one post. It's this post from April 4th, his images. I'm gonna continue. You can see the icon that for live stories being selected.
Your Honor, this picture, can we
And
go
this
back
is
for a
What-
second?
1 second, I can't, just let me look at it and then I'll let you talk. Give me a second. All right, so I see a GPS tether on, sir, what, can you come stand here where I can see you for a second?
Judge, with respect, may I just comment on this picture?
Let me see what I want to see and then you
Okay.
can you lift up your pant legs? All right.
Wearing, I might point out, he's also wearing the exact same socks in the picture. They are black Nike socks.
All right, well, that's not what I'm here for. I just want to see it. Okay, go ahead. Ms. Young?
With respect to this photograph, which I showed to his family, they're claiming that he took this at his mother's, I'm assuming, come home, it says. My client and his mother said this is not her residence. They didn't take this picture. He didn't take this picture. He doesn't know who that is with respect to the tether and the gun.
All right.
Thousands of people have tethers and guns.
All right, hold on. Next.
After observing this picture, this was on September 3rd to the 4th. I actually, as of today, because Sister Council pointed out that he does not have an Instagram account and that it's not him, I wanted to look at this a little closer. I did go to the same Instagram account. That image from April 4th has been deleted, but then I clicked the stories. I'm unable to share on my screen. It's too large of a file. If I may approach with Sister Council to show you the
Come
image.
on up.
But this is as of today, and they are only 24-hour long stories. This is the same Instagram account. I can't see. I'm just gonna put play. I can put play on that.
Where's play? I don't know Instagram.
So this is the first post, and I have a screenshot of this. But you can see Mr. Santana,
And
that's his neck tattoo right there.
That is not him.
That's his neck tattoo,
Where?
right there. That's the same one we were seeing.
I don't see a neck tattoo.
Okay, where's the next one?
Well, it's gonna keep going. It's a video.
And you're saying this is posted today,
This is posted today.
even though he's here today? And
Well,
Ms. Young,
It's posted 18 hours ago.
that
Okay,
indicates
just-
somebody else is doing this to set him up.
Okay, so here he is with 2 weapons, and you can see the GPS on his leg. I don't see his GPS. You can see it right there bulging out. I zoomed for you.
I did.
And then there is this right here. It's a countdown for court.
okay.
That countdown expired today. Pending today's court date.
And Judge enlarged this so you could,
I have a screenshot of the picture. We can go through that. Just hold the video.
Let me just see it.
So that's the countdown for today. That was 17 hours ago. That makes us today the timeout cleared. And then this is saying everything I post, if you want to read that. Everything that I post on social media are all for props and entertainment.
Okay.
that's quite nice, posted.
And then here's an image of the same black, like a black vest and the same shoes. And what I believe to be this court's carpet potentially.
Your Honor, my client has on black, stand up, sir, has on black pants, black, step around so the judge can see.
And some
Black
shoes.
shoes, those are not,
Those are the exact same
Miss
shoes.
Young,
This-
Miss Young, if you're gonna tell me these shoes are not his shoes, I've only seen shoes that look like that 2 times in my life. One's on the picture and one's on his feet.
Your Honor, I'm telling you to look at the color of the pants here. And
They're
this
black.
It's a
tie.
tie that's easily
This is not
removed.
black, that's brown.
That's black.
That is not black.
That's black with light hitting it.
It
Okay,
is not black.
That's the last image, but that was posted 3 hours ago.
Okay.
From like 30 minutes ago. And I'm not sure if that's the same carpet in the background.
I
but it's a
don't
similar
believe the
color.
carpet is the same,
Oh,
but
and
the
you can see
shoes
the
are.
GPS.
And you can see the tether on it as well.
But Judge, those pants are brown. So, Your Honor, my client, as I indicated, did not, his Instagram accounts, all of his accounts have been closed by his mother. She's willing to testify.
So someone, okay, but here's the argument, just listen, because this is what you're asking me to believe. Someone else made a pretend account of Mr. Santana, and on the, everyone's nodding their head, I'm about to tell you it's ridiculous, but okay, just calm down in the back. So someone creates a fake Instagram. If you have a problem with it, you can go in the hallway.
Yeah, if you're gonna continue to say anything.
Hey,
yes or no.
go in the hallway if you have a problem. If not, let me conduct my business, this court's business. So you're asking me to believe that someone made a pretend video on the pretend videos that they're assigning to your client on an account that he's previously posted on in April. You're asking me to believe that a picture of a floor, a porch, it looks like a deck of someone showing a tether and a gun is not him. And then someone doing a court countdown is not him. And then someone literally posting a video of them going to court with the outfit on that your client's wearing is not him.
Your Honor, if I may, before we get
Judge,
into that.
Wait,
One second. I must say, when I walked into the courtroom, I did look at his shoes. By the time I went from this courtroom back into my office, that Instagram was deleted and so were the stories instantaneously. In less than a minute, everything was deleted once I looked at his shoes.
Judge,
So
All right.
it was happening
all right,
live.
let me let Ms. Young speak. Go ahead, Ms. Young.
first of all, this apparently started in April the 9th. Somebody's trying to set him up to harm him and to make his life worse than what it already is.
Did someone get an identical pair of shoes to his and that outfit? And no, Ms. Young, I'm asking you a question. Is it your representation to the court that you believe someone else went and got those shoes and a tether and took a picture of it, looking like don't cry, looking like he was going to court in that outfit? Is that what yes or no? Is that your representation to this court?
With respect to the picture with the shoes, Your Honor, those shoes can be purchased, yeah, by many, many, many people.
Okay.
Number two, the pants in that picture are brown. From my lips to God's ears, those pants are brown. My client's pants are black. That is not a photograph that he took today and posted it on Instagram.
Your Honor, if I may, I think that's just very
I don't need it.
ridiculous.
I don't need it. All right. Do I need to hear from anyone else?
If you'd like to hear from the mother regarding that porch video, she said that.
Well, she's just saying, you're telling me she's gonna testify that's not her porch.
Correct.
All right, ma'am, I'm not,
That's not what I wanted to, in regards.
okay.
I'm sorry, that's not.
You have to say your first and last name.
My name is Erica Santana. She's stating things are being deleted as we're here. Julian has no phone here with him. He walked in here with no phone, has no phone. I have a phone. I'm logged in my Instagram if you want to check. My children here have their phone. They have their phones. We can all show you our Instagram. Nobody was in this courtroom able to delete any pictures while we were here.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing from the people.
Nothing further, Your Honor. So I'd ask the court to continue his $100,000 cash or surety bond with house arrest and GPS tether.
All right, well, the standard is a preponderance of the evidence. And those pants look black to me with sunlight coming on them. The shoes are incredibly unique. These are shoes with spikes all over them. He's posting pictures of, or an account that is clearly his account or someone's using his likeness. I have no reason to believe it's not his account, is posting pictures with a countdown coming to court, showing his shoes and outfit on the post, showing a tether on the same ankle that he has a tether, posting pictures with guns on more than one occasion while he's on bond for assault with intent to murder. He's alleged to have been the shooter that's an allegation. He's presumed innocent, but that's the allegation, that he's the one that pulled the trigger. And he's out on bond, and that Instagram story is egregious. And no, Miss Young, listen, I understand you have a client. I'm not buying it for a second, not 1 second.
With
The
the gun photos, Judge, I just want to address those. The gun Instagram,
Mhm.
that was April. This case,
No,
That's not
no,
a violation of probation.
one of the ones, she said over and over, the only reason the one in April was admitted was to show that there was a photograph of him. It was him. using that Instagram. That's what she admitted that for. I don't care if he had a gun in that picture or not. I'm not interested in that at all.
And then
Because he wasn't on bond.
right, and with respect to the second alleged gun that he had, that's where the pink heart on the floor, and there's a gun laying there. There's no evidence that was him, or that he put that on Instagram. What would he do that for? It doesn't make any sense.
Because he's young.
It does make sense that someone else is trying to create problems for him.
So Your Honor, it does not make any sense at all that someone would be taking these pictures and posting them.
Officer Wingrowski, can you stand, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Officer Wingrowski, did you identify that account as one of the accounts of the suspects in this case in the course of your investigation?
To the extent of my knowledge, Your Honor, I believe that was identified, yes.
And Your Honor, I will say he's just filling in for the true officer in charge, Detective Chamberlain. He's just filling in for the day.
Okay. I mean,
So Judge Messer asked if the court is to, no social media accounts, no use of social media accounts. If that's a concern.
he should have listened to you when you told him that. Any defense attorney I know would tell their client, I know Ms. Young, I know you know what you're doing, would have said, do not get on social media. If you haven't, get off of it immediately.
He has no way of being on social media today, Judge.
Okay.
He has no phone.
It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. It's a preponderance of the evidence. This is not a beyond the reasonable doubt standard. It's a preponderance of the evidence standard about whether I can look at that video. I can look at that. They're posted after he was given bond conditions, while he was out of custody. They're specifically referencing court. I mean, if you want, listen, who's the OIC?
Detective Chamberlain,
Okay. He's out today?
he's out of the state or out of town. I think he's on some kind of SWAT training.
So, Your Honor, his family didn't post anything on his Instagram or whatever social media it was. He didn't do it. He doesn't have a phone on him.
I mean, I'm not gonna guess how Miss Sobe looked at his shoes and walked out, and the video has disappeared. I'm not gonna speculate if someone else in the audience did it, if he did it, if someone was contacted to do it. But who else? So someone who's out to get him would delete the video right after she sees his shoes? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. I mean, it doesn't. And I mean, I'll tell you what I am doing for his poor dear parents who love him so much that they would probably put up a lot of what they owe, a lot of what they have to keep them out. I'm not forfeiting the bond, but it's revoked. He's going back to custody. But I'm not gonna take $100,000 of money from his family that they had to post. I'm not doing that. And Miss Young, if you want to have another hearing for me to reconsider this, listen, my job right now is to keep the community safe. I have someone who is charged with, listen, I don't even think it's not working on me at all. I have sons. I see this stuff all the time. I'm manipulated at home. I won't be manipulated here. Listen, I'm not revoking it because it's his parents' money, and I'm not doing that forfeiting. I'm sorry. I'm not forfeiting it, but I am revoking it. Now, Ms. Young, if you want a hearing for me to readdress this issue when the officer in charge is present so that I can learn more information that may be beneficial to your client. But when I have to make a decision like this off the cuff, essentially, and I'm making a decision on what I think is best for the community that I live in, and he's charged with an offense, a life offense for shooting someone. That's the allegation. And I've got pictures that are alleged to have been from him of posting guns in a tether. I mean, I don't think he gets it. He's gonna. No, you do not talk. You only talk to your attorney. You don't want to talk to me. I promise you. So I am, the bond is. The bond's being modified to $500,000 cash or surety. Yep. So go in the hallway if you can't control yourself. They'll have all previous bond conditions that were previously put in place. No contact with the victim in person, residence, third party, or any telecommunication device, no leaving the state of Michigan, cannot go back to Big League Brews, or the residences, employment or schooling of any of the complaining witnesses, testing on demand. It cannot possess alcohol or drugs unless prescribed, no weapons, firearms, or ammo. And you know, if he's got a $500,000 cash surety with a GPS tether, if they do post that. But Ms. Young, if you have some more evidence or something that, or Ms. Sobe, either of you, and you want me to reevaluate this bond, I will. But when I have to make a decision right now, I am not going to let him out into the community if there are pictures that certainly meet the standard that I'm required to meet today.
He's locked in the house 24/7, he's not a danger.
All right, we're all set. That concludes
Judge, I
the
would
hearing.
like to get a date to revisit this.
All right, no.